It's definitely changed. You know, I think this morning, obviously in the high boost and low downforce situation, you could really trim out and be on the edge. You know, and you know, I think drive more through it. Whereas now you're kind of just stuck with you know, trying to get the best out of it, trying to, you know, hope that you found something better than somebody else. You know, we planned all week for one thing, and now we had to change it in a few hours. So, you know, I think Team Target's done a great job. We'll have to see if it sticks. Obviously, conditions, I think, are going to play a bit of a toll this afternoon, so we'll have to wait and see. Yeah,
I mean, you know, obviously the mindset's to get in the show and get the steak and shake car in there. But, you know, I wanted to be the lead Honda. I wanted to be up front. And, you know, I knew that there was going to be a lot of guys jammed at the mid-224 range. And the car was excellent. It just decided on lap 3 it didn't want to shift anymore. And, you know, sitting on the rev limiter kills 5 miles an hour at the back, into the back straight, and it just crushed our lap. So that's the way this thing goes. It's unfortunate, but we're going to have to start towards the back or wherever we end up here.
What do you think about this day in general?
I think it's a shame, you know, for the fans to be in this position. You know, my car in qualifying trim was really quick, and so I was excited about it. And unfortunately, it just didn't pan out.
You know, it's all just a part of the game here, really. You know, I think we ended up playing a little bit conservative. We thought, you know, the cars have been incredibly sensitive to the track conditions, the kind of ambient conditions here over the last week. I mean, to the point on Friday, on Fast Friday, once it got hot in the middle of the day, kind of just normal heat for being out here at the Speedway, the cars were like completely undrivable. So we were anticipating a little bit more of that going on here today. The track grip has remained really high because the track temp remained low. So I think we left a little on the table, but yeah, the team's done an incredible job of dealing with everything that they've had to do this week. Fortunately, we haven't been a significant piece of that, but it's just good to get the car in the show. I think we'll end up here somewhere in the top 10, and we'll take it and go from there.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's a great experience. This racetrack is amazing, and you know, you can't describe the feeling and the atmosphere that you have around here as long as you don't come and experience it. And I'm really happy to be here and to be in the show. So now we just have to go and race. You know, the car seems good for race setup, so we'll see what happens.
There's a couple problems here. Well, really, there's only one problem, is the fact that the car flies when it goes backwards. That was almost, when Dixon crashed last year, it was almost the same. Didn't quite get up there like these other ones. But you know, I think the other thing is that when you trim, you take that risk. You know it, and I think that was. The people that crashed were running pretty light, and that's how this place has always been. You try to take as much off as you can to be flat. If you take too much, you'll crash, or you'll have a moment, and that's what's happened. I don't think they could have done anything different to what they've done. Like, how would anyone know? We had ample time during the month to understand these kits, but we've just, you know, found a problem with the car, because you got to remember the previous kits, it has been easy to drive. Like, you couldn't trim enough, so it's been easy, so no one's been crashing at the high speeds. This month is the first time we've had people actually crashing at high speeds. It was always the case with the old car. So now suddenly when you have to start driving and trimming out again, the guys that are brave enough to trim out and try reap the benefit are taking a risk, you know, and that's what Indianapolis is about. It always has been. You know, if you want to trim and take the risk, chances are you're going to hit the wall. But you know, it's shown us a problem with the car. I don't think it has much to do with the actual body kit that the cars fly. It's just the fact that more cars are crashing. I mean, it used to be like that, and with the old Delara, I mean, someone crashed every day.
I think we have the ability. I just think it was a little bit of an overreaction, in my opinion, but this is just my opinion. So I think for the fans, they deserved it a little bit better, but I also lost a lot of friends in racing. One thing that I'm really glad is people need to stop blaming the manufacturers for something that it's completely unrelated. I get really angry when people that don't know what they're talking about, they overreact and they point fingers. So Chevy's been extremely helpful, and they have a great kit. We've been, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to be on the pole for the Indy 500. So in my opinion, a little bit of overreaction, but it is what it is.
You know, it's been an interesting weekend. Yesterday you wake up all ready to go. It's qualifying day, and there's that energy. It's the Indy 500. And it gets rained out. So it's already kind of a weird day. You go to bed, you wake up Sunday, you do it again, wake up early, come ready, and then unfortunately there was Ed's crash, and that that kind of put a strange spin in the whole day. IndyCar had to come up with something. And I don't know if it was the best solution or not, but at the end of the day, we all had to figure out a mix setup between qualifying, trim, race trim. The engineers, not only have they been working for a week, they've been working for months, trying to understand the aero maps that they get from the manufacturers, and it wasn't easy. And then in half an hour, you have to come up with this mix thing. And all I have to say is that I'm very proud with my team. We're going to be one of the fastest Hondas, and they had to figure out in half an hour what to do. So again, it just gives you confidence going into the race that you know we have a good group and they know what they're doing. The whole week has been strong. My car has been really strong on race trim. So you know, as we know, it's a long race. It's going to take a lot of smart decisions to win it. But I think I'm probably in the best position I have been ever starting this race. So I'm really looking forward to it.
No, I mean I just got to thank everyone at Andretti Autosport. They've done a fantastic job, and obviously the difficult circumstances this weekend, the team has worked hard. They hit everything just right for qualifying. So we had the gears as close as you can in that mad scramble of half an hour trying to change gear ratios. And so I've got to thank the team, my engineer, Craig Hampson, who's done a great job, and also Honda. You know, they hit it just right as well. So no overboost, no soft limiter, no hard limiter. You know, those kind of things, tiny little things that a driver notices, and nothing happens. So pleased with how it went. I was a little bit loose all weekend in qualifying trim, so a little anxious, but the car stuck in qualifying, so kind of relieved to get it all over with now.
The car was pretty consistent, especially during, given the conditions. You know, it's very windy and gusty out there, so I got one moment where I thought I was under control and got a big push and out of two, which I really wasn't expecting. So I got even more aggressive on the tools for turn 3. But you know, it's that difficult to estimate, you know, what you're gonna need. And so you had two ends of the track, 4 and 1, and then 2 and 3, and they were very different. So you know, I'm just glad we got the best out of the car we really could hope for. I think it was a consistent run, and the car felt good. And for the moment, it's, you know, in the top 10, and if we can stay there, I'll be very happy with that.
Well, in these conditions, you're going for qualifying with only one attempt, so it is what you're going to get is what you have, and you have to deal with it. This morning I felt like we adjusted really well to whatever the rules were. Obviously Ben Bretsman, my engineer, is amazing at it, and he can make a decision really well, and it's comforting to have him next to me, and I'm so proud to be part of Team Penske, man. It's just a whole different level, and you know, I'm really proud to be able to put it on the front row so far for them. And you know, personally, when the change happened, I was, you know, a little upset. My car was ready for qualifying. I felt good. So when it happened, you have 5 minutes where you're like, ah, man, I wish. That's typical human. You don't want to change. But then 5 minutes later, just focus on the task, and whatever you're gonna have is what you have, and it is what it is.
This was a pretty crazy week for all of us at CFH Racing. You know, it's just unbelievable what got thrown at us and what happened and the response of the group. I mean, I can't say the word amazing enough. When I describe the team, I really just want to say the word amazing, because they are. They're so incredible. They built Ed's car this morning about 2 hours from scratch. I don't think I've ever seen that before. They built a brand new race car in 2 hours, and he went and qualified at 2:25. I mean, that's amazing, you know. All things considered, and what we were doing today, amazing group effort. You know, they built my brand new car on Thursday night right before Fast Friday. So we got 2 T cars solidly in the show, and JR's been pretty solid all week. I mean, he's been really knocking on the door, and I think, you know, all things considered, we're happy with where we were. I think we might have had a little bit more if we didn't have all the curveball thrown at us. You know, we might have been a little more aggressive. Dixie probably would have been tough, but I think we've had, you know, top 5 race cars as far as speed goes all week, and certainly very racy race cars. So I'm hoping we can go into the week now after qualifying pretty solidly with the whole group, work on our race car, and then trying to just attack for the Indy 500. Chevrolet have been phenomenal. You know, I think Honda's, you know, been phenomenal as well. It's not, I don't want to overshadow them, but Chevrolet's really done an amazing job with what's happened. You know, a couple of the wrecks obviously were for unforeseen circumstances and things that happen. I mean, just normal racing stuff in my opinion, but you know, everything that they've done to try and help develop the car with IndyCar and try and make them as safe as possible, it's really hats off to Chevrolet. And not just that, the performance side from the Chevrolet has been impressive all year, and without a doubt it's been impressive here. I think Honda will be difficult in the race to beat, but I think Chevrolet's got everything they need from a tools standpoint and from a preparation standpoint to really give us the speed in the race car, give us the fuel efficiency, everything that we need from a package to go out and challenge Honda and try and win the Indianapolis 500. So just happy to be a Chevy driver, to be honest with you. Really, really happy to be a part of their group.
I mean, I think the history of Indianapolis for 100 years is to answer one question: how fast can you go? It's the reason this track was built. And so it's hard for the drivers and the fans, I think, to end up in a situation where we're here and then all of a sudden we're here on speed. So it is what it is. You know, it's all about winning this race at the end of the day. But qualifying is see how fast the car is capable of. So I was a little bummed we had to turn things back, but a lot more people working on it than I'm worrying about it. So I'm sure they have good reasons.